You're not chill. You are not chill. You're not easygoing. You're not laid back. You're just scared. You're scared of being too much, too intense, too real, too raw, too emotional. And I get it because I used to be the same. You think that being easygoing is going to make you likable. You think that you're going to get more love if you put on this chill girl, this cool girl, this laid back persona. And you never push back, you never say how you really feel, you always try and keep the peace. But what this actually really does is just keeps you fucking invisible. Women are conditioned to be easygoing so that you don't intimidate people. So you're playing yourself down, you're being low maintenance, you're lowering your standards, you're trying to put on this chill girl persona so that you don't get rejected, right? Because we all have this core wound. If I speak up, if I express myself, if I say how I really feel, then I'm going to be abandoned, I'm going to be rejected, something bad is going to happen, people won't like me, I won't be loved anymore. That is a core wound that most women have. So instead of saying how you really feel and being in your full expression and asking for the type of love that you do want and asking for what you want in the bedroom, in life, asking for what you want in your career, asking for what you want in your friendships, even asking for what you want for fucking dinner, you'll say, I don't mind. Oh, I don't mind, I'm easy. I really don't mind. And it's like, you know what you want deep down, but you are fucking terrified to ask for it because if you do so, you might not be loved anymore. You don't want to be seen as difficult. You don't want to be seen as high maintenance. So you shove all of this down and you tell yourself that you don't really care, when what's going to be going on inside is you're going to be building up resentment. How you really feel is going to be building up emotions, energy in motion. It stores. If it's not transmuted into something, it's going to push down into your body, and at some point it's going to come out in whatever form. And being a chill girl doesn't just apply to relationships, it also applies to friendships. Letting your friends walk all over you. In the workplace, maybe you let co-workers dismiss your ideas, or you don't actually speak up and put your ideas on the table. Maybe even in your social media content, if you're a content creator, that you're playing the good girl act a little bit too much, like you're not actually saying what it is that you really want to say in fear that somebody's going to push back, or that somebody's going to reject you, or that a family member's going to see it and going to think less of you. And this fear comes from childhood usually, right? So at some point, you know, when you come out, when you're born, you don't have these fears. You're just expressing yourself, dancing, singing, liberated as fuck, doing whatever you want. And then somewhere along the way, somebody makes a comment, or maybe somebody told you that you're too much, or just keep the noise down. God, you're so loud. Or maybe you were, you know, physically or emotionally abused as a result of expressing yourself too much. But somewhere along the way, you have lost this ability to just express yourself without all this fear coming up, right? In dating, you learn that cool girls don't have needs. Oh my God, I remember when I was like 17, 18, and there was this whole hype around like the ice queen persona. It's like, I don't care. I don't care if a guy likes me. I'm not going to give him any signs that I do. And like putting on this shield, this front of like being completely emotionally unavailable and completely cold, because if you ask for what you want and you know what you want and you have standards, then you're seen as demanding. And this carries on. We carry this into adulthood. You're taught, especially as a woman, that likability is better than actual leadership, because if you make it to the top, you're going to be seen as a bitch, or you're going to be seen as intimidating, right? The amount of times I have been called intimidating by men, and it's like, women aren't telling me that I'm intimidating. So am I intimidating, or are you intimidated? Maybe let me know in the comments. Maybe I am intimidating, but at the end of the day, this is who I am. This is me and my pure most liberated expression. The question is it my responsibility to change myself, or is it the responsibility of the other person to decide, A, do they want me in their life? B, do they want to have a conversation with me and maybe ask me to speak to them in a different way? C, do they need to actually look at what is triggering within them? You know, this is such a nuanced topic here, but the answer is not for me to shrink myself and make myself more digestible and turn myself into a different person, because in me doing so to please the other person, I'm just going to make myself sick, because I'm squishing down who I really am, my true essence. And these moments that shape how you express yourself today can be so tiny. They don't have to be in the form of abuse or some big trauma. It can just be something so simple as somebody rolling their eyes when you say something. Or maybe you used to wear whatever the fuck you want, and then one day somebody called you too extra, and it shook up a wound in you, and so you started to dress in a different way so that like people wouldn't call you out on it. I remember once I decided to try wearing bright green eyeshadow, and somebody commented on it, and they were like, what the fuck have you done with your eyes? And I was like, oh, I thought it looked really good. And after that, I didn't wear green eyeshadow again, because I had this fear that, oh my, I must look so ridiculous, even though it was the only person that made a negative comment. Now I would not give two hoots. I would do whatever I wanted, and because I know it's just a reflection of their own insecurity insecurity is being projected back at me for them to make a comment on that. But all of these little comments weave their way into your subconscious and they block you in your full expression as an adult today. And over time, this builds up and you swallow your truth more and more because this fear is, if I speak up, I am going to be abandoned. If I draw too much attention to myself, somebody's going to say something mean to me. And as someone who has been on this journey, I can say one of the most liberating things that you can actually do for yourself is to start to speak up, even when it's uncomfortable. Get really fucking comfortable with the uncomfortable. Someone rolls their eyes at you, so what? Like, do you really care about their opinion that much? I want you to ask yourself that. Start small. Someone asks you what you want to do today and you say, I don't care, I don't mind. Pause, check in with yourself, because you do know what you want to do today. Because what about if someone said, let's go skydiving? Probably wouldn't want to do that on a Tuesday morning, would you? Or let's go roll around a field full of bulls. You're probably not going to want to do that, are you? So next time you say, I don't care or I don't mind, or you're about to say, I want you to pause and actually check in with yourself, check in with your body. Like, what do I actually want in this moment? And you might not know, but you definitely going to know what you don't want to do. So you could even express that. If someone says to you, what do you want for dinner tonight? And you know, I definitely don't want to eat Mexican food. That is for sure. At least say that. Give some direction and stop giving all of your power away to people. Or you could even just ask for time, like, oh, can I just have a few minutes to have a look or have a feel into it? Next time somebody interrupts you or rolls their eyes, call them out. Say, why are you interrupting me? Or I just saw you roll your eyes at me. Can I ask why you did that? And just call them out on it, because one, most of the time people may not have even realized they've done it, and two, everything is a reflection of that person. So them rolling their eyes at you is more than likely just something that is triggered within them. Next time someone asks for your opinion, actually give it. Don't water it down. Don't make it digestible. Don't try and make it fit whatever audience you're speaking to. Own it. Say how you really feel. It's going to be so fucking liberating for you. When I first started speaking up, I used to get so nauseous. I used to get like this guilt feeling afterwards, and it would make me feel so uncomfortable. And now it's just second nature to me. Like, I'm so used to just saying what it is that I want or saying what I don't want, and being okay if that other person can't handle that, because it's not your responsibility to carry everybody else's emotions all the time. And I want you to start owning your needs and desires without guilt, because this is one of the biggest things I see with women. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to want more attention, more love, more success, more excitement, more passion. Whatever it is, you are allowed to want more. And I think in this new age spirituality bubble that we've all kind of started to come out of this past couple of years, like, we've just told to be grateful for everything. And whilst I agree you need to be grateful for what you have, like, you are allowed to want more, because when women push away and push down that desire for actually what they want, the moreness that they want, that's when women get sick. That's when women get burnt out. That's when women get exhausted. That's when women get, like, that anger builds up and it manifests and it pops at some point. You're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to have high standards in dating. It doesn't make you high maintenance. And so fucking what if people do think that is high maintenance? Wouldn't you rather be perceived as high maintenance and actually call in the love, friendships, money, success, opportunities that you truly want on a soul and heart and pussy aligned level, than lower your standards to be seen as somebody who's chill and easygoing by a bunch of people who probably don't have the same values as you and probably aren't your people? If you're having to dim yourself down for a guy and lower your standards just so that he meets the criteria, he ain't your man, honey. He is not. So it might make the pool a little bit smaller by you having these high standards, but the quality of the men that are going to be coming into your field, and this applies to friendships as well and career opportunities, you know, if you're trying to be a one-size-fits-all approach and you're trying to just meet everyone's needs and please everybody, then you're going to get that. That's the quality that you're going to get back. Whereas if you really niche down, you really get clear on the type of people that you want in your life, the type of values, the type of qualities, the type of interactions that you have, you are going to call those people in, because it's going to be way more specific and you're going to be vibing at that frequency that they can see that and they're going to be a match for you. If you look at the women who get the best treatment in relationships, they're the women that demand it, and they might not be demanding it verbally, but their presence will demand it. It's a presence of, I am not going to settle for that. Like, I'm not going to fuck with this bullshit that you're throwing at me. And there's a reason for that. Their energetic presence and the way that they hold themselves and their standards, that's emitting a frequency of, I will not settle for less than this. Next, I want you to stop managing people's perceptions of you, okay? You cannot control this. Other people's perceptions of you is completely, it's their reality, it's their viewpoint. You cannot control that as much as you try. Trust me, I used to do this. I used to try and micromanage every single little situation and try and control how they would think and how they would react and how they would respond. People are wild, man. People will do whatever it is that they want to do. People will respond and react in whatever way fits their view of reality, and you, no matter how hard you try, cannot change that. And you trying to change that is going to burn you the fuck out. Honestly, it is going to leave you dry, crispy, little Gollum character, like shriveled out on the floor, because you're going to be so exhausted from trying to fit that mold. You are always going to be too much for somebody, okay? There are going to be people that can't handle you. There are going to be people that think that you're too out there, that you're too loud, that you're too expressive, that you're too sensual, that you're too spicy. Like, I have heard it all. Even to this day, when my granddad comes around for Christmas dinner, he always tells me that ever since I was 2, I've always been really loud and I cried a lot and I was really expressive as a baby, which is fucking wild because it's like, what did you want me to do? But still to this day, everyone just talks about how I popped out gobby and I always had an attitude. And I'm like, okay, cool. You're still talking about me. Have you not got anything else better to talk about? And no matter how hard I tried throughout my life, I don't anymore, but I've never been able to change their perception of me because that is who I was that's how I came out, and this is who I am today. So the sooner that you can let go of trying to control what other people think of you and just be okay with it, be so okay in yourself and be like, I know I have a pure heart, I know my intentions are good, I know I have good values, and I know that if I slip out of alignment, I bring myself back, and I try and do that with kindness and respect. What other people think about me is their business. The moment that you stop performing and you just be, like, the right people are going to find you. When I started speaking up and really owning my voice and really expressing how I really felt and setting more boundaries, being more vocal, showing up online, I lost a ton of friends, because people, especially people that you've been around for a long time, when you start to speak up and set boundaries, it's shaking up the norm. It's doing something different, and a lot of people can't handle that and they're going to slip away. But a lot of people do come back, and that's okay because most people are only thinking about themselves, so it's probably triggered something in them. But if you're going to lose people who just preferred you when you were at the quiet, squeaky little good girl, nice girl, like chill, easygoing energy, pushover energy, walkover energy, they're not your people. And this fear of you being too much is the number one thing that is keeping you from living your dream life and having everything that you want, hands down. And on the other side of that fear is so much liberation and so much joy and so much purpose and so much passion. There is nothing that is going to get you more liberation and more freedom than being able to push through this uncomfortable feeling of being too much and allow yourself to express yourself fully. Nothing, no amount of money, no amount of living abroad, fancy mansions, whatever it is that you think you want on your vision board, I promise you, moving through and letting go of the fear of being too much and allowing yourself to express yourself fully is going to bring you so much more freedom than all of those things. Okay, you don't need to be chill. The world does not need more chill girls. The world does not need more women who are just shrinking themselves down and trying to keep the peace and staying quiet. Oh, I don't mind. I don't care. I'm not really that bothered. Walk over, push over. The world needs more women to step up, to speak up, to actually ask for what they want in life, in the bedroom, in love, in relationships, to have high standards, to get over that fear of being too much and liberate yourself into full expression, because that is when women are at their most powerful. And that is the type of freedom that no one can ever take away from you. Because you can lose your money, you can lose your car, you can lose your home, your whole life. You can lose your whole life. I went through that. But nobody can ever take away the fact that you are so sure in yourself, you know yourself so deeply, and you are not scared to ask for what you want, and you're not scared to express yourself, regardless of what other people think, regardless of how they might respond, regardless if you get hate or if you get rejected. Nobody can take that away from you. So let yourself be seen. I hope this has inspired you in some way today. Please let me know in the comments below, like, subscribe, tell me how this landed for you. Did it trigger you? Did it inspire you in some way? Let me know, and I'll see you next week. Lots of love.